Welcome everyone to another episode of the Teachers Lounge, and in this episode, really exciting, we've got loads of things that we're going to go through. It's all about organisation, and we've actually had a company send us a special gift which is in this massive box over here, so we're really excited to go through that. We're going to be talking about all things organisation within schools, what's the best way to organise, and also we're going to be taking a look at the things that are in this box, and bit of a bold claim, but are they the best diaries and all kinds of things that you can possibly get if you're a teacher? Are these the holy grail of stationery and organisation? We will have a look. We're also going to do something a little bit new. We're going to do a little bit of an advice column at the end. We're going to talk through some of the advice things that you guys have been sending in to us because you want our opinions on things. And we've got a couple of people that have sent in some tips on how to be really organised as well, and we'll share them with you too. So, like always, I am joined with my marvellous and stupendous wife and teaching assistant, Mrs. Lauren Webster. And there you go, I've used some different adjectives for you today.
Much better, well done. You've been looking in the dictionary of the thesaurus this afternoon.
Yeah, I had a look in my thesaurus, and
Diane.
it was very, very, very good. It's not very good thesaurus. How are you? How are you anyway? You okay?
Yeah, fine, thank you.
Not that I don't know because we live together. What have you been up to?
I've had a shoot today. Been a bit of shopping. Yeah, the usual. Tidied the house. Looked after the girls. Yeah.
Good. And what have I done, you ask?
Yeah, what have you done?
Well, yeah, I've been quite busy. As you know, the podcast has taken off quite well. So we had Twinkle that did a little interview, which was super exciting. So we're so excited about that. Did a little interview about teaching assistants.
We've seen the little sneak peek of it as well.
Yeah, it's great.
It's really
I've done
good.
a little article for it. So that's really, really cool.
Yeah, you did amazing. Fair play. Well done.
So yeah, exciting stuff. Anyway, let's have a look at what we've been sent. So obviously, as a teacher, as a teaching assistant, organisation is key. Without it, you can't run a classroom effectively, can you?
It's vital. It really is. As a TA, I've been through a lot of classes in my 11 years.
Yeah.
And it makes such a difference when you have a really organised teacher. It doesn't just affect the teaching assistant. It also affects the children. If you've got an organised teacher, the teaching assistant feels at ease, knows what's going on, and so does the children. So you have a much more calmer and easier learning environment for you to work in and for children to learn in.
But not just an organised teacher, also an organised TA. It makes a massive, massive difference from my point of view as well. So, yeah, let's go into what we've got. So, the lovely and brilliant people at the Positive Teacher Company sent us a goodie box. Couldn't wait to have a look in this. Now, I've got to say, I have never, ever ordered anything from this company before. I have seen lots of things floating around on Facebook and Instagram and other socials.
A few of my friends have said that it's good and that they can't wait to get their diary every academic year. And I've never really gone, well, I'll rush to get one. But after seeing this box, I want one.
Yeah, we'll talk you through it now. They are extremely good. So let's give you a little bit of background on the Positive Teacher Company. So a fabulous lady called Rachel started the company. She herself was a teacher, and I think she was deputy head teacher as well, or acting head teacher at one point. And she's very creative, and she started making these in 2017, and she handmade every single one. So she does teacher planners, diaries, and notebooks, and a few other things which we'll have a look at in a second. So she handmade every single one, and she was telling me that she started selling them on Facebook while she was teaching, and it just absolutely took off, and she couldn't handle it. And long story short, she had to decide, am I going to carry on teaching or am I going to focus on this? And I think her passion for creativity took her down this road, and she's gone for it, and it is extremely, extremely successful. So yeah, fair play. And from what I see as well, they've got a fabulous team that now make these amazing products. And
I really liked it when you opened it and it had a sticker on the front saying that it was packed by, I think it was, is it Sarah?
Yeah, it
I
had a
think
little
it said-
stick.
It had
Yeah,
this little sticker inside the name of who
yeah,
personally packed
who
it.
had personally packed it. And if you're watching this on YouTube, I'll put a little clip on to show you what it looks like when it was, well, when we first opened the box, and it was beautifully wrapped, gift wrapped with amazing, lovely wrapping, like a gift paper. Absolutely fantastic. You laughing at me?
Yeah, laughing at your answer. Yeah, they've taken a lot of time and thought into making their product look nice, not just pretty, because it's not only for women, it is for men as well, and they do more neutral
Yeah, well, the one
ways.
they've sent over has like a leaf design on it.
Yeah, I think it
I
could be
would
it's
definitely
gender
use that.
neutral.
Yeah.
I like it, and you liked it too.
Yeah, and I really like this too. So on the back, obviously it says like tag me on socials, but on the back it's got a little thank you message, and it says thank you so much for choosing to purchase from the small business. And this is the bit I like. It says, when you buy from a small business like the TPTC, your order is seen immediately by me. I do a little celebratory dance that that somebody has loved what I've created enough to part with their hard-earned money. I thought that was amazing.
Yeah,
I love
it's really
that.
sweet, isn't
Love
it?
that. Yeah, anyway, let's have a look at some of the products. We're going to build up, get to, well, what they've sent. We'll go through. So, first of all, and I've got to say, I love all the stuff that they've sent. And I'm not just saying that because they've sent it to us.
No, it really
It
is.
is genuinely good. I'll put some clips on while we're talking about some of the things. I've got some separate clips if you're watching on YouTube, so you can have a little bit of an in-depth look. But also if you go onto their website, they do some really good videos showing you the product really, really well. So first of all, and all these things I'm going to be using when we go back in a couple of weeks. So first of all, we've got this absolutely massive calendar. And it's not just a calendar. Basically on there is every single significant date that you may want as a practitioner. So things like Diwali, things
It's like
you wouldn't,
celebrations, isn't
celebratory,
it?
yeah.
There was World Men's Day too on there.
Yeah,
There's
just all those quirky little events. But again, it's absolutely massive. In one glance, you can just see when everything is. So that's going up on my wall by my desk straight away. You can write on it. It's a great calendar, great poster calendar. So yeah, that's the first thing. Fantastic.
I think it's perfect even for all staff members that you could just put on there.
Oh yeah, that in the staff
in
room.
the cupboard or next to your desk.
Yeah.
You can just put like trip day or school photo.
Yeah.
It's just a really easy way of having your classroom more organised and specific dates. Like you could even put like, I'm not got an appointment on this date, so I am not in, and the supply teacher's in. Like just little things like that. It's really good for as well.
Well, speaking of supply teachers, I'll go to this next thing.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah, this is when something you didn't know you needed until you saw it.
It's perfect.
So honestly, right, when I don't have supply in often, but when I have supply in, the amount of time it takes me to put some kind of format together of the day, right, this is what we've got to do, like a timetable. Oh, it's so annoying. So this has come through and it says, here's what's happening today. Have a great day and thank you. And then it says your day in, and and you can write your class, the date, and then we've got some lovely columns, lesson time, the overview, notes, and then they've got a column to provide their feedback as well. So you're not going to be scrambling through loads of bits of paper from your bit of paper to the supply teacher's bit of paper. It is all on one. And there's absolutely loads. But also that doesn't have to just be for a supply teacher.
No.
That could be for your teaching assistant. That could
Yeah.
be for anyone that's interacting with your class. So,
And it's so well thought out. You can tell that somebody that in the job has made it.
yeah.
And I love the part at the bottom. I think it say other things to note.
Other things to note
You
about
could
today.
put there
Yeah.
like if you've got an ALN child or if you've got a medical need.
Yeah.
Just any little specific thing, or like, oh, so and so has been picked up early today.
Yeah. But that's why these products are a step above your regular stationery or your regular organizational tools that you would buy from generic companies, because these
Definitely.
guys have all been in education and have been teachers. They know what we need.
Yeah, they've gone, what could have we really benefited
Yeah.
from? And they've gone, bam, there it is.
Because the amount of times, our secretary will say, "Look, do you want a planner this year?" And I don't bother getting the planners because they're useless.
They're just a generic.
They're
They're just a
generic.
date one, aren't they? And you can't
Yeah.
write a lot in the box. And
And the amount of times I've gone, I could really do with one with this in my planner.
yeah,
So I never bother having them anymore. So having teachers design them, they've got it spot on. So we're going to have a look at one of the things first. So we've got 2 things left to look at. But before I show them to you...
3 things. You haven't shown that other thing either.
Oh, yeah, 3 things, sorry. Getting ahead of myself.
It's lucky I'm here.
Yeah, keep me in check.
Yeah.
They do a massive array of products. I mean, this is just a very small sample of what they do. You need to go and check it out. You can have massive customization, personalization as well. And one thing they haven't sent, but one thing I need to mention, which I would have loved when I was training to be a teacher, they do a student-teacher planner and a student-teacher diary. And it has everything in there, which is so specific to what you would need to do when you're going out and training. So it's brilliant. Anyway, let's have a look at this. So the other thing, we've got a handy little My Week planning sheet here, which is really good. And obviously there's loads and loads of pages. Great little way just to jot down whatever you need to jot down.
No, I love this because I thought it's not just for our profession. That could be used in so many different professions. It's brilliant. And as like a busy working mum, that's perfect. I could put everything that's going on in my school week, everything that's going in my own business week, everything, what meal preps, clubs, that is...
It's transferable.
Incredible.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Transferable.
Yeah. It could be in any job.
Yeah.
That is so good. I really like that.
Yeah. Now let's have a look at these. So these are the big boys. So first of all, we're going to start with this one. This is purely a student record, and it might sound a little bit plain and simple, but actually, and again, I'll show you a video clip if you're watching on YouTube, a little bit more in depth about this. But when you go inside, there is so much more to it than just a student record. You've got your calendar, transition notes, record of attainment, individual targets. What I love in here, which I will definitely be using, is the parent communication log.
That's really good.
Yeah, and this, like I was saying before, this is something that I've been crying out for. Every time I get a diary, I'm like, oh, parents' evening's coming up. You can't type in front of a parent and write up notes. And in my diaries, it's like, oh, there's nowhere for me to write for every parent whatever notes they want to tell me about their child. And I don't want to take a separate piece of A4 because then that's a different bit of paper and I'm going to lose it.
That's the first thing I thought of was parents' evening.
Yeah.
That is all you need. It covers all the information a parent wants to know, like from their friendships, their children's friendships, to assessments, targets, interventions they've been doing. It's all there.
Yeah, it is.
Like, it is a brilliant piece of kit, that is.
Yeah, I mean, there's loads. And the other thing I really like about this one, there's a separate intervention plan section, which is fantastic because the amount of interventions we have to do now just to be able to keep track of it and have. But the thing, this is the thing, what they've done really well. They know it's all in one place, because in the past, I'd have to have my own notebook for interventions. Then I'd have to have my own notebook for targets and attainment.
And your TA would probably have their own notebook for interventions.
Yeah. But having all of it in one place is just genius. It's exactly what we needed.
I also love the transition notes.
Yeah.
Because we're going into a new academic year, we're having new children in. If we had that photocopied and get like those transition notes photocopied from a previous teacher and just given to us, and we can say, Joe Bloggs is friends with so-and-so, he really responds well to Pokemon, we'd go, amazing. First thing I'm going to say to him is, how's your summer? Did you get any new Pokemon cards? And automatically he's going to go, oh wow, they like Pokemon too. Like, I can build on top of that.
Yeah.
It's a great way to just start off the year showing the children you know something about them before they even said hello to you.
Who's your go-to Pokemon?
I love Bulbasaur.
Bulbasaur, classic. Right. Speaking of Bulbasaur, we're going to look at the next one because it's a lovely leafy green design. Really, really like this. Really like it.
I love the design as well.
Yeah. Now, I've never seen one of these before. Subject Leader Journal. Never seen that.
No, I haven't.
Never, ever seen that. So I was really intrigued to have a look in this. And again, I'll show you some clips if you're watching on YouTube. But absolutely load of content in here. And specific to a subject leader. So, for example, we've got learning walks, a learning walk log. We've got pupil voice records. And I mean, that's just useful. This doesn't necessarily have to be for someone that is a subject leader because we all do pupil voice. So
yeah,
that's
we do
good.
a lot of that now, don't we?
Yeah, term evaluation and planning forward. It's split into terms too. And you have these lovely little tabs. So, you've got term 1, you can go straight to term 2. Have a look. You've got your to-do and your actions list. You've got brainstorming. And another thing that I haven't seen in these before, it has like a moderation, a meeting with the cluster section, which is just unheard of.
But that's where that just shows it's made by someone who knows. It's not someone that's sat in an office. It is someone that has been in our shoes and they know full well what you need to do a good job and to be organised.
They've been on the battlefield and they have designed and created some tools which are only going to help you. So honestly, guys, check them out. Go onto their website, go onto socials. They're everywhere on social media at the moment. Have a look. The Positive Teacher Company, their stuff is absolutely brilliant. And I'm not just saying that. I will definitely be buying more things from there because they just know what you need.
Yeah.
And rather than wasting money on several things that you then have to try and adapt, like generic diaries and planners, just buy it from there, tailor it to you. I've even seen that you can get like decal stickers as well with your name on, so you could then stick that onto there. You can really personalize them and jazz them up and make them look really good.
I think if you're someone that knows they're not the most organized, then this is one way of seriously getting organized.
Yeah, I mean, like
you instead of death by paper, death by files and folders, it's all in one place. They are really brilliant. As a TA, I think I would absolutely love if my teacher had one of these. Even if they gave me the first resource we looked at, like every week, and they just said, look, this is what we're doing today, this is what we're doing tomorrow.
Well, they do a bundle of 3. So they haven't sent over the actual teacher diary or teacher planner, but basically you can get your teacher planner, which is like all of that in one. That then has a slot on the inside that you can put a notebook in. There's like pen slots and everything. So basically, in one little system, you have your planner, your notebook, everything. So, guys, check them out. Well worth the visit. If you work in education, you won't regret it. They are so good. Really, really good.
And the delivery was really quick. So,
it was actually.
It was. It was like 2 days.
Yeah. Well, it was there on day 2, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really quick. So you'll still be in time for your next academic year.
Absolutely. Now, staying with organisation. Maybe that'll be a different episode. But yeah, staying with that. Let's have a look and see who replied to the story and who's got some tips to give us for being organised. So, we've had quite a few. Okay. Right. So, we've got here from Lauren Page.
I wonder who that is.
Write a list of things.
It's a great name.
Yeah. Write a list of things you need to do and delegate it to your TAs. TAs love a list.
I love a list.
Yeah, people do love a list. So I've got a few here from Ellen, who was in university with me doing her teacher training. She's given us a few. Hope you're doing well, Ellen. Right, so she's put lots of live marking. We also do whole class feedback. That's head pushing for good staff. MH. That's really, we've started doing that as well. Me and me, Kaylee, and Sophie. We were on the old live marking because that does make you so much more organised. So if anyone doesn't know what that is, I'm sure you do. During a math lesson, rather than finishing the math lesson and then taking the books in, taking them home, marking all the books, you're talking hours just to get through those books. Stop like 10 minutes toward the end, do a little plenary, and then get the kids to all open their books. And you and your TAs go through and have a little chat, literally do it as they're doing it. You don't even have to stop 10 minutes toward the end. You can do it as they're doing the activity. And you're just marking as they're doing their work, basically.
A bit like what we do in Read Write Inc.
Yeah. And then you're not having that massive workload to take home. But also, you could argue your marking is way more effective because when they've made a mistake, you're on it and giving them that immediate feedback.
Yeah, that's really good.
So it is really good. Yeah. Ellen has also said, I have 5 trays that are labelled Monday to Friday, and I put all the resources in so I can grab and go. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's a really good idea,
Yeah,
that is.
I've not thought of that. That is a really good one.
And say if you stayed one night a week quite late and just sorted that out, you can get off pretty quick.
Yeah, that's pretty
the rest
easy
of
to
the
do,
week, can't you?
That is pretty easy to do.
Especially because you plan your week ahead during your PPA. So that should be quite manageable.
Yeah.
Especially if you get into the routine of it. I think these things are, once you're in the routine of doing it, you can more successful with it.
And then the last thing she's put, which I do all the time, she's put, get children to tidy. Jobs for each child. They do audits throughout the day to check. So I think she means I do this too. So I hope this is what you mean, Ellen. So we have monitors in our class. So we'll have a cloakroom monitor. So that'll be 2 or 3 children, and they'll be in charge of tidying the cloakroom. And they take it really personally. So they make sure that cloakroom is tidy. Then we have a book corner monitor. Their job is to keep it tidy.
Yeah.
So just little monitors for
Do you give them like a little badge or a lanyard?
No, I don't.
No.
I could though.
Yeah, it'd be quite cute because then they feel like I get to wear my lanyard.
Yeah, but they love it.
Yeah.
It really does work, and they keep it tidy all the time.
It gives them like importance, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It gives them a role.
Yeah,
like they're important. This is their job. They need to do it.
Yeah, they absolutely love it. Okay, so we're now going to try a new segment of the podcast where we try and help you with or give you some advice about school-related issues.
This might be fun.
It might be good advice.
It might be terrible advice.
Probably will be terrible advice. But you can choose whether you take it or not. So, first one is from Anonymous. Afternoon. Just been informed that my PPA next year will be on a Monday afternoon. This is fine, but I'm wondering what rights I have to query this, as obviously there are bank holidays to take into account. Many thanks for the advice. That's quite good, actually, because
yeah, it's a tricky one.
You are going to miss PPA. I think I've got the answer to this. Most schools are pretty flexible on PPA. It's usually, half the day where you get planning time. So if you know a bank holiday is coming up, I'm sure if you were to go to your head teacher and just say, look, bank holiday's coming up, I will miss my PPA next week. Could I just have it, swap it round?
Yeah, definitely. And it could be worse. It could be a Friday afternoon. And who wants to be planning the rest of the week on a Friday afternoon?
Yeah. Yeah, true.
That's a hard going.
Yeah. So, yeah, bit of a tricky one, but I'm sure you could swap it and it would be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If not, you'll have to use the bank holiday.
Oh, this is quite a sad one.
Oh.
So going back to, the teaching assistants and, trying to give them more of a platform and things.
Assistant teachers, you mean?
Yeah. This if you're not a teacher and you're watching this will give you an idea of the reality of being a teaching assistant. Hi, everyone. Just wondering, does anybody have a second job? I've been a TA for a year now, and I'm really struggling to make ends meet with the wage that I get paid. If you do have a second job, what would you recommend, and how does it affect things such as tax? Thank you.
Photographer's a great second job.
Yes, yeah.
Tax wise, second job can get you, but it depends what job you do and how much you earn. I think you can earn 15,000 without being taxed. So you got to earn over 15,000 to be taxed.
I have no idea. I mean, it probably...
Yeah, don't hold me to that, but I think it's around that sort of mark.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't... With tax, it probably wouldn't be worth her, for example, going to Tesco and...
Well, no, especially if she's a full-time TA.
Yeah.
Like, that would be hard going after a full week in a school and then doing something on the weekend.
I'm wondering if they're talking specifically about summer holidays, maybe, or maybe they're not. Maybe they are talking about it. Even I tell you what, I do know lots of teaching assistants, and I think you've done this too. Lots of teaching assistants will do things like active dinner time duty, and also do some cleaning for their school at the end of the day. Or even
an after-school club.
Or an after-school club.
Or breakfast club.
Yeah, so have a chat with your school, and if it's something that they can do, obviously, you should have cleaners, you should have dinner time staff. Just say, next time there's an opening, could I be a dinner lady? Could I be a cleaner?
Breakfast club leader.
Or do breakfast club, yeah, because hopefully then that won't take too much time out of your schedule. You're not going to, finish your day.
You still get a break. You'll still have your weekends and things.
So it'll keep you within that school structure as much as possible. But that's the best thing I could recommend, really.
Or if you're creative, why not start something new of your own?
Yeah, I mean, like we were just talking about the Positive Teacher Company. They started making their own, took to Facebook, and it just absolutely took off, didn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope you find something.
Yeah, me too. Right, this is quite a good one. We go through this all the time. Not that we're fussy eaters, but it says, what do you take for lunch? I'm not really one to take leftovers, as I don't really have meals that reheat well. I'm fed up of sandwiches and wraps, and my pasta is rubbish unless I buy ready-made ones. So, lunch. What do you take?
Oh, well.
Inspire us.
We're pretty leftovers, aren't we? Whatever we have the night before, we always make more for the next day.
But we make good stuff.
Sometimes, yeah. Yeah, like our homemade pizzas, when we take one of them the next day, that is just like...
For me, it's about utilising your time. So this person has said, I'm not really one to take leftovers, as we don't really have meals that reheat well. Well, could you try and change it so you do get meals that reheat well? But
yeah,
I mean, that's the ultimate. I mean, we cook tea.
Or meal prep. Do it on a weekend. Like Sunday, just make something in a batch. Like make a batch lasagna or a batch lasagna shepherd's pie and alternate.
Yeah, I mean, for being organised, I mean that. Even though this is the advice part, but it's an organisation podcast. Try and do your meal, whatever you're having for tea, double it up, have it for lunch the next day.
Although we've all been there when we've gone, we'll just have a quick tea, and then we've gone, oh no, we got no dinner tomorrow.
Yeah, I think always have something as a plan B, definitely. I'll tell you what is really, really good at the moment. So if we're ever in a pickle, no pun intended, we've got those microwavable rice packets from Aldi. They're reasonably cheap, aren't they? They're less than a pound.
They're really tasty.
They're really good for just emergencies. And they do lentil ones, all kinds of ones.
And they're gluten-free, which is also good.
And so they're reasonably healthy. They're quick. So
and they're filling.
They are filling. Yeah, they are filling.
Because there's nothing worse feeling hungry in school.
Yeah, no, you're right. And you don't want to be eating rubbish all the time. Like the amount of cake that comes around school all
and
the time.
Biscuits in the cupboard. Just have one.
Yeah. But yeah, it is a tricky one, especially if you eat in the staff room with other people, and there's always that one person that comes in with something that smells amazing.
Yeah, and you've just got something that's like rubbish, and you're like,
a thin piece of ham in.
Yeah, no crisps because you've just forgot, and you've literally just got a sandwich.
Yeah.
No
yeah.
butter.
Yeah. Try and I would just say try and get stuff from tea.
Yeah, or be organised, meal prep
Yeah.
on the Monday for the rest of the week.
Yeah, because you might think it's a lot of work, but by leaving it late and not having anything good, then you've got the stress of trying to sort that out, and that's actually more hassle than if you were to just make whatever you were having for tea and get that ready.
And when Margaret comes in with her amazing lunch and you're there with your sandwich, you'll be wishing you did our advice.
Okay, last one. I'm gonna have to go to to you for this one, really.
Oh.
When applying for jobs and getting interviews, when should you tell them you're pregnant? I don't want to risk losing a job opportunity just because I'm pregnant. If applying for jobs while pregnant, when have you told your employer or potential employer that you were pregnant? Did you do it in the interview or once you were hired? I don't want to risk potential firing me for not telling me afterwards.
Well, they shouldn't really discriminate because you're pregnant, or if after you've got the job, if you're pregnant.
They shouldn't, but in the
They
big
probably
bad
will.
world, they are not going to want to hire somebody
Who's just going to go on maternity
who is just
straight
going to go on
away.
maternity leave. I honestly wouldn't tell them.
No, I wouldn't. I'd keep it quiet until after you've got the job.
Yeah.
Maybe a few weeks, maybe a month, and then tell them.
Yeah, I think you've got to look after number one first.
Oh, 100%.
You know, you've got a child on the way. You need a job, stability. Get the job. Just don't say anything. Get the job. They can't fire you for not telling them you were pregnant.
And for all they know, you didn't know.
Yeah, I was going to say, get the job and just play a little bit dull. And, you know, you really didn't know. You've just found out. Super sorry. And
say that you went out celebrating after you got the job.
Yeah.
Alcohol free, but don't tell them that.
Yeah. So
yeah, no, 100%. Don't tell them. They can't do nothing about it. Get the job first.
Yeah, look after number one. Yeah, so there we go, guys. That was our advice segment of the show. Take it or leave it. Some of it you may find useful. Some of you may not. But
might be a bit cutthroat, but
just our opinion at the end of the day. And I hope you've really enjoyed looking through the Positive Teacher Company goodies that they sent us. Thank you so much again for sending us those goodies. But yeah, check them out. Absolutely fantastic products. And that concludes this episode of the Teacher's Lounge. Don't forget, send us in any funny stories, or if you want to be on the advice segment, send us in any bits of advice or anything that you feel we may be able to help you out with. And thank you very much, and we'll see you on the next episode.
bye.
That's a wrap, people.
Done. Back to editing.
35 minutes. That was good. I feel like we're like real into the flow of it all now.
Yeah. Yeah, really impressed with those. Do they do teaching assistant ones? Not that I need it now over my 2 days.
We just hit done on the iPad. Bottom right.